Hello again, YouTube land. Pardon my appearance, if you will. I know my skin is drastically misbehaving, but given some of the subject matter I'm likely to cover today, I think a visual demonstration of my flaws is right in line. First thing you might notice, I am not blonde anymore. Genetically I'm blonde. I was born a natural blonde. Dirty blonde, strawberry blonde. It depends how much sunlight I get. But my own personal nature, my personality, is this. Dark hair, dark personality, dark attitude. That's just me. And it's not because I'm like an overall dark person. I mean, if you've met me, I can actually be very upbeat and optimistic. Usually most of the time it's when I'm being self-deprecating, but it happens. So my hair has been dyed. Ever since I was a kid, I like the idea of those long, raven-haired figures, Like, I spent a lot of time studying Native American culture as a kid. So it's not specifically like a Pocahontas thing, because in most Native American tribes, men grew their hair long too. So it's kind of a nature thing to me, I guess. But that's enough about my hair. Alright, what else is going on? My dad had his first of two, well, obviously two, cataract eye surgeries on Wednesday, and he was nice enough to tell me the surgery was coming, and then call me after the surgery to let me know he was out and fine, and he and his best friend were gonna spend the day hanging out and stuff, because Mom was at work. And then he called me again later in the afternoon, and I talked to him again the following morning. So that's pretty good. Apparently the eye he had the surgery on, he's already up to 20/20 vision, and my dad's in his mid-50s. So I kept asking him questions about, like, well, do you want your vision to be really far? Do you want it to be short? Like, what are you looking for? And he was just like, I don't want to customize my eyesight. I just want to be able to see. There's a lot going on in my life. I want to be able to see it clearly. That's all I'm after. Which I appreciate and agree with. As much as I understand plastic surgery and wanting to enhance yourself and make yourself feel better or look better, or, to fix something that needs fixing medically, you're not the $6 million man. You don't need to be better, faster, stronger, you just need to function. Me, myself, I have problems with that. Alright, couple things. Here's a demonstration of my belief of full disclosure, okay? I am functional dysfunction. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's the only way to state the truth about my existence. And I was at my newest general practitioner. Like most people, I've had several in my life. This is the one I just got the beginning of this year, and I love my doctor. Oh my God. It took me almost 30 years, but I finally found a practitioner of Western medicine I like. Wow! She's very laid back, but she's also very knowledgeable. She's very dedicated to the entire ethic concept of caring for your patient, not caring for the problem. So I was there to see her yesterday, and we were going over a bunch of my lab results because I've been for everything. In the last month, I went for full body x-rays, no joke, full body, 2 rounds of blood work. I went for an MRI yesterday, just, one of these. And I haven't even been to all the specialists I need to go to. There's that much wrong with me. I need the usual specialist, because I'm a girl. And then I need a pulmonologist because I'm asthmatic. I need a neurologist because of my ridiculous problems with headaches. It's just, I did go to the neurologist she recommended, and she's awesome as well. That's one of the things that really speaks for a general practitioner. If they're awesome, and then they go another step further and recommend you to someone who is equally awesome. And this neurologist she was a hoot. She's funny, she's outgoing, obviously smart, aside from the fact that she's a certified neurologist, and very easy to talk to and get along with, very open and inviting personality, and so many medical practitioners are missing that. I love it. So, I was there yesterday, and we're going over my x-ray results and my blood results, and she says, well, you're borderline anemic, borderline. And you're probably having dehydration issues, which, quite frankly, most human beings have. So you're going to have to really up the water intake, and you're going to need to take an iron supplement. And the iron supplement should help with a lot of the fatigue issues that you've been having. I said, all right, great, I can do that. I had to take iron supplements before. It's not the first time in my life I've been anemic. She said, other than that, I have no idea why you're having such issues with your weight. Your blood panels are about as close to idyllic as I've really ever seen in a patient, especially one who has as many problems as you do, which, I mean, you're up there. A lot of people have a lot of problems, but the way yours balance and counterbalance, I can't, it's a difficult thing to wrap your head around, let alone live with, I'm sure. So she's empathetic too, which I really appreciate. But then we were going over, noise out the window, my x-ray results, and I found out information I didn't know. Now, I knew I had plantar fasciitis in both feet. I knew I had early stage arthritis in both knees. That was diagnosed about 4 years ago. What I did not know is that apparently I have a narrowing of the lower lumbar, which is the very bottom nape of your back, you know, where it kind of does the scoop, you know, right above your butt. And I also have a narrowing of the C5 to C6 spinal junction. Now, I'm not an anatomist or a biologist, but I know basic Gray's Anatomy. So the C5-6 is basically right here. It's literally the junction between what you define as your neck and what you define as your upper torso shoulder area. And for a long time, I was diagnosed with a pinched nerve, but they couldn't figure out where. Was it at the base of my head where the ligaments connect? Was it somewhere along the path in my neck? Something had to explain that I was having all these problems with my back and repeat headaches and shoulder stress. Well, it turns out that's what it is. No one ever bothered to order x-rays. So I have 2 narrowings at either end of my spine. Joy. It does explain a lot of things, though. I do have, the neurologist told me I have chronic rebound headache, which can be treated with medication. It's, she wrote me a blood pressure medication, but it's for off-book use, basically, because I don't have high blood pressure. You would think being almost 300 pounds again, I know that's so huge, right? Being almost that size again, I would have blood pressure issues as well, or hypertension, or something like that. My blood pressure is beautiful, according to my doctors. I went to the neurologist before I started the medication, the one who wrote it, and my blood pressure was like 120/75 or 80. So it's in the butter zone. It's really good. I just realized I used a butter zone reference when talking about a weight-related issue. That was completely unintentional. So, that's that. But the other thing my doctor, my general practitioner keeps saying to me, and here's where I mention our dear friend Greg Mocker from Pix11 News. She keeps telling me, for reasons I kind of understand and kind of don't, that she thinks I should be on TV. She can understand why I'm a writer, for sure, but she thinks given my capacity and demonstrated use of language and vocabulary and sentence structure and free-form flow of thought speech, that I should really be on TV as some sort of commentator or pundit or editorial type person. Which is, I appreciate the thought and the statements, to be sure. I mean, my sister and her younger sister have told me several times that they think I have a voice very well suited for radio, which initially I was teasing them. I was like, wow, that's a good solid diss. I'm that ugly, huh? But I know them. They have good hearts. That's not what they meant. What they meant was that they find my voice easy to listen to. Which I also appreciate. I mean, I'm a partial empath. I like talking to people. I like being heard. And given the range my voice carries, from being told I sound almost juvenile and innocent on the phone to, my God, you sound like a blaring klaxon in my face with baritone when I'm upset in person, I can understand that people might find my voice interesting or easy to listen to. I don't always. I mean, at home, I'm generally pretty damn quiet. You know, Sam is the talker. And then we go out in public, and it's the law of opposites. We go out in public, Sam's a church mouse. He doesn't, nothing. Sam, what do you want? Well, do you have an opinion about it? And when we're out in public and someone asks me something, it's a good 20 minutes before someone finally elbows me in the ribs and goes, dude, shut up. Finish the sentence. Whereas at home, Sam can usually hardly get 2 peeps out of me. You know, unless there's a reason for me to be more vocal. So, I think my doctor is trying to subliminally put mental waves out there to see if someone will hire me for TV work. And I had told her that I was lucky enough to meet Greg for the couple of pieces that I was involved with. She was like, well, great, then, you know, you already know someone there. I was like, you know what? Why do people assume that because I've had interactions with someone who has a name, that I somehow got a foot in the door? I have not earned a foot in the door. I didn't produce a reel. I didn't submit a tape with a resume. You know, none of this has happened. If I'm lucky enough that someone suggests me for something, fabulous. I'll go after it like a rabid dog. I need a paycheck like a drug fix, okay? It's bad. But that doesn't guarantee me anything. It really doesn't, and it really can't. But I don't know. I do want to be working, though. But the most unsettling thing about that doctor's visit, and I'm going to use the last couple of minutes to go over this, is in the last 2 weeks, I've seen her every 2 weeks since the beginning of January to get everything up to speed and get her a baseline, is that in the 2 weeks since I saw her last, I managed to put on 4 pounds. Huh? I'm stopping and trying to think back to everywhere I've been and I've done and I've eaten, and I did have a pretty calorically dense weekend before I saw her, but 4 pounds? No, that's not good. There's no justification for that. Which means that according to her scale in her office, I'm up to 289. Yes, that's right, I'm giving you my actual weight. Full disclosure. Okay, I'm fat and I know it. But that being the case, I'm probably going to, well, I will. I'm going to join Weight Watchers online. I am, because, you know, I have workout DVDs, I have a nice large living room, I have an Xbox Connect, and at the moment, no paycheck, which means no job, which means not leaving the house. I have no reason not to use what I have and get in shape at home. What I have a problem with is portion control and calorie counting. So I think the point system, now that I'm older, because I did it as a teenager and it just was not working for me. But I think now that I'm older and have a better appreciation for what kind of effect my weight has on the entirety of my life, health, back problems, knee problems, potential fertility problems, I'm going to be a lot better about tracking it and sticking to it and things like that. So we'll see how that goes, but that's a really, really recent consideration and development. So hopefully the next time I post, I'll be able to give you more details about how that's going and if I've managed to lose anything. All right, well, I hope you all have a good time and enjoy the Super Bowl. I'm not so much interested in the game as the commercials, but we'll see. I grew up in Maine. I'm from New York.